Jake goes, I have something that I feel like talking about, but we hit it every 2 weeks, so maybe we shouldn't.
We literally slam it every 2 weeks, which I'm sure. So I got fed a video today,
Okay.
and I like looked at the thumbnail and I was like, this looks like just a glorified podcast episode. It was like a 20-minute video,
Okay.
but the thumbnail was just like a guy sitting at his desk. So I was like, this would be perfect to throw on. I'm doing some pretty mindless stuff right here. Looks like a podcast, and I was right. Threw it in, and he was just talking. I was like, perfect, exactly what I wanted. And the title was, "It really is that damn phone,"
Oh, wow.
which I don't know that we've like specifically talked about like smartphone social media addiction, but we talk about touching grass every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And
fair.
I don't know, for some reason, like this video today hit pretty hard. And I don't know why it hit harder than usual. Because again, I'm thinking about it all the time, but we talk about it all the time. And it's just that like the older I get, the more I do this, the more I just like disagree with the fact that like people watch anything on the internet half of the time. And yet,
What do you mean by that?
well,
Like, you don't like that we do that?
I mean, again, like everything in moderation, but just like as a society, like we're all just scrolling addicted, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And while I can sit here and try to be like, oh yeah, like I make educational content, I don't, you know, like you kind of have to. I don't know if I mean, this is kind of why I wanted to talk to you, because I was like, do you feel this way? Because I feel like even when I think I am doing something more wholesome, I'm still adding to the problem, aren't I?
I disagree with you.
Okay.
Because
Tell me why.
I feel like it takes too many. This is something that we talk about also every 2 weeks. It takes too many clicks to make those decisions. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. So today I'm in DaVinci Resolve and I'm listening to interviews and trying to make a story. We've all been there. Do the thing.
Yep.
So naturally, what do I need? I need attentiveness to like listen and then be like, oh, that's a talking point that actually relates to the earlier one. I'll drag that clip over there, or like however you would do it, right?
Right.
And as this speaker is talking, I like flip open Instagram, flip open Threads, and I totally space out. And I'm just like, wait, what? It's still playing in front of me, but I just stopped listening. I turned my phone louder so I couldn't hear the like Resolve playback.
Yes.
But if I'm in Resolve and I'm looking at this and I like open a YouTube window on the side, there's more actions and like there's more discipline that's happening. Like I'll look at the homepage, but I'm like 6 minutes. I don't know. Like I'm doing something right now, even though I'll spend 10 like on my phone at the keyboard. But like sometimes I'll have a video off, but I think it's just like a more mindful, like it's a more mindful click that you're just like making that decision. So that's why I'm disagreeing with you on like, yeah, I think it's not a mindless, I'm just saying on the maybe majority of like, it's not mindless. I hope it's not mindless when people are like clicking your videos. They're like, oh, I want to listen to Jake and like attentively actually listen. Sure, you can multitask, do the dishes, but
yeah,
I don't think it's like one of those things that I'm just like, I am a zombie zoning out.
Right. Okay, so you think there's a pretty big distinction between like YouTube in general, or maybe even like horizontal video versus the scrollable the scrollable social media. I don't know. I can't think of a better word.
Yes.
That's
No, that's it. That's
about.
exactly it. Like horizontal versus even the video that you click that you're referring to, like it really is that damn phone. Like something was intriguing. You can see the time, you know, like there's all these things that happen in your brain to be like, yeah, okay. And then you're like, now I'm going to do this thing. Versus if I'm like just like in a black hole on YouTube, I'm like, maybe this is my discipline, but I'm like, I've had enough of this, and I'll click out of it because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just like searching for things to watch, and I can't find anything, so I'm clicking on whatever. No.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
that's what
true.
the scrollable's for. That's what the doom scroll is for.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because then it just feeds you with zero intention. You're just along for the ride. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, I think those are good points. I think that makes me feel maybe a little bit better about how I was kind of viewing it. Okay, but here's the I feel like you refuted my point, but like I still had another thought
This is
that
Jake.
I thought was interesting.
We need like a sound effect or something for going into the weeds. So like this is Jake like peeling the.
Well, because I was hoping that you would just like dive down into the depths of depression with me and just be like, yeah, dude, like what we're just the drug dealers. Like this is bad. But you're like, no, Jake, like we make really good, wholesome content. People are thinking about watching and learning Da Vinci. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. But the other thing that I thought about that was really interesting, and this is just a Spencer Jake chit chat, like this all made me think about like what are the things that people make that no one feels guilty about consuming. So we can say long form YouTube videos probably falls into this category.
Okay.
But it got me thinking, and I was like, music. No one's ever like, oh, damn, you listened to 3 hours of music today. Like, no one thinks that that's doom scrolling. Or, I mean, even like watching most movies, like the traditional art, it has never been viewed as like bad consumption, right? Don't you think?
There's just more discipline and choice backed in those things. I will say my Spotify Wrapped, it was a scary amount of music that was like, I can't remember it, like there's a little part of me that has some pride to it because it's like you're in the 0.1 top percent listeners of the world, and it's like my girlfriend was looking at it. She's like, looking at these numbers, I don't think there was a moment that you weren't in silence. That's scary. Like
That's scary.
what's up with that? Like, are you okay?
She's like, we need to check the cycles on your AirPods, dude. They are cooked.
Yeah, but like, it's like I take the thing out, I press play on the speakers, I walk in, I say, hey, Google, play Spotify. I hope it's not going to start right now, but like those things to me are like, like music doom scrolling almost. But I think like traditional media requires so much more choice to be like, what DVD do I put in the DVD player?
Right. Right. Yeah. What art do I go look at? You know, like what paintings? Yeah. But again, even with your music one, like music doesn't have like a connotation. Like the only connotation is maybe what your girlfriend said, which is like, oh, you didn't sit in silence, but like you're listening to music, right? Like music is always considered to be this like very like stimulating thing for your brain. I mean, I don't know, unless you're listening to like Baby Shark all year long. No,
fair. No, her point was just like, have you sat with your thoughts recently?
Yeah.
Which is like super valid, but like I think that would be the equivalent of like the closest equivalent to doom scrolling. But I just don't know. Like, what was your original question of like what is a good form of media? Because like the long form totally definitely fits in that.
Yeah, just like what's the difference between like healthy consumption and then where did we go wrong consumption? And it's just kind of weird to me because like when we think about like food, like generally speaking, people know a pretty clear line of like what is good and bad consumption. Maybe there's some nuance there, but like when it comes to content, it's like, I don't know, maybe we're getting to that point where we understand what that is. And it truly is like the scrolling algorithm driven content is not good for you, but like the other stuff is fine. I don't know.
I think you can kind of tell. Like, I don't know. This is something I thought a ton about when I first started YouTube is like, there's just something that you can tell about, especially yourself, when you like first record a video and you're like, why am I saying words like that? Like, why am I speaking weird and like all quiet and whatever, like not able to like put sentences together? There's something that like the human brain just picks up on to be like, oh, like this just feels disingenuous, and like I think that gets directly related to like things that you come across on the web that just like feels like shit posting, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, why is this person doing this? Because they have nothing better to do. They're not sharing, like they're not entertaining, they're not sharing value, they're not teaching you something. Like it's just purely because they wanna. And maybe that is entertainment to somebody, but like
right.
I think for a large population that their brains work like how I was just saying, you could just like look at it and it's just like, this is a performative act, and I think it's silly.
Yeah.
What, like regardless of what it is, if it's like ChatGPT content or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No, that's an interesting point. We're all capable of like shitting our pants, but I guess some of us are thinking like, maybe we shouldn't do that. Right? Maybe.
Yeah, but then there's that small thing to be like, yes, but what if I did it and I made it look like an accident?
Yeah. Yep. This metaphor works perfectly.
Yeah, and then the rest of us are just like, no, it doesn't look like an accident, and now it's weird. You made it weird.
And we all just hate what's happening here. Why did you do this? Yeah. No, okay. Well, hey, I'm feeling better. I feel like we kind of got to, well, yeah, I mean, we got to, I think, the point I was trying to get to. But then I guess, okay, but here was the point I wanted to ask you is like, we always talk about it, and I think we feel good about our content based on the conversation we just had, which again, I don't know, maybe we're blowing smoke up our own asses, but like, I don't know, more and more, I'm just like kind of like curious about some of these other mediums that feel like really aspirational. And where I'm going with this is, and again, it's like, I almost like don't even want to tell you because I'm sure it's going to just like fuck it up and I'm not going to do it. But like, I was just like, I should like start doing music again. Like that was like my life for forever. Why did I stop doing that? Like those kinds of things where it's just like, and like skateboarding's kind of similar for you. And I mean, I don't know, you do a lot of like really crafty stuff with your videos too. Like there's probably more in that realm that you could just like go do and like, I don't know, like maybe make content about it, maybe share it as like art for other people or not. I don't know. It was just like a kind of an interesting thought I had of like, should I be trying to make more of what I think is like the healthiest form of consumption potentially? I don't know.
Oh, that's an interesting like moral thought.
Yeah.
Because I also struggle with that. I had a music journey myself. Like I was like, I want my music on Spotify. I'm gonna like make some albums, it's just, and it was like such a fun outlet. But like doing YouTube and doing music, I'm like, oh, there's not like I'm sure people do it, but for me at that point I also had a full-time job. So I was just working kind of like the same thing that you're doing. And you're just like, I only have so much time. And if I'm splitting my like hobby time into two, like what? Okay, then I'm barely doing either of them. So I got super into music for like probably like a year, and like I liked recording it. I liked just jamming by myself, jamming with friends, and then I switched, and literally like I barely play guitar anymore, and it bums me out all the time because I'm just like, maybe like once a month I'll pick it up, but I'm just like, man, like, what's up with this? I love doing this.
What is like? Why do I not do this? Yeah,
but it's like,
no, and it's a good point.
Yeah, it's just like you only have so much. But the other thing that I struggle with, because that thought process dominates it, to be like, well, you only have so much time. But I'm like, yes, but if I made time to do the one thing, like if I made time to play guitar, I wonder how that would impact exponentially to like making videos, because you're adjusting your brain to have a different perspective on things. so that
Yeah.
you're now bringing your music perspective into whatever. Because if you're like, I still want to make videos, I still want to do the thing, but I also want to make time for music, would that actually make you more productive doing videos? You know what I mean? To be like, you know what, I'm going to give 1/3 of my time to music, and the other 2/3 will still be video.
I feel like you had another topic on here that was exactly like that. And I almost pulled it down for today where you, like, I think it was that exact same thought. Like, if you do something else, oh, the more overworked we are, the slower we grow. I think it was kind of that same vein where it's just like, what happens when you consume more of your day with something super good for you? Does it exponentially increase the other thing or make the quality better? Which I think is the point you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say all of this, like, I mean, in the year 25, I'm trying to work out again. I started a new book last night.
Heck yeah,
dude. Which is killing it. I'm loving it so far. And, we're trying to podcast like pretty regularly. So, I mean, it's a great argument of just like, when am I going to play guitar? When am I going to do that? Like, basically, I would have to do that, within my creative nighttime window. And yeah, that would probably mean less editing. And I don't know. Is that good? Is that bad?
But here's the like, just an additional argument that I have as well is like, the concept that we have about that, I think, is also skewed. And I don't know how to describe that accurately, but like, when I think about playing guitar, I'm like, I want to like sit down. I want to have the same thing with editing. Like they're synonymous in what I'm explaining. Of just like, I want to have the tea. I want to set my amp up and do all the things. And just like, I want to sit there for like, and just like spend a good amount of time there. But what if you shortened that right up and you're like, I'm just going to I'm going to noodle around, give myself a little timer and not just like sit here and just like fully nerd out and let myself loose. Cause that's what I love to do in editing. But like, I'm very capable of editing on a timer. I do that also all the time. So like,
all the time.
So it's like, would that actually still be beneficial? If it's like, you know what? Okay, the first 15 minutes I walk in the shed, I play piano. And like, then I'm done. That like, then I have to move on.
Right.
Like, I think there's something in our brain that's just like, well, I don't have 2 hours, so I'm not gonna do the thing.
Yeah. Be a really interesting experiment to just be like, first 15 minutes before you can edit, sit down, play, maybe even record it just to like keep track of it and kind of see how it goes. And if something happened, great. Like, you've got it for a future session to have that riff or whatever you come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting thought. I don't hate that. That might be a good way to kind of squeeze it in and just
do you think about it the same though?
Scratch the itch. What do you mean?
Like, do you discard the notion of playing just because you're like, well, there's not enough, like, I need more time. I simply need more time.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, that's what you're saying is uncomfortable. I'm exactly like you. I don't like that idea at all, because to me, it's like, if I'm going to do music, it's like, well, I think I'd want the whole night to really just sink in. And yeah,
exactly.
But again, to play like devil's advocate to the devil's advocate, like, that's what I've been doing with writing in the morning. Like, I don't have a lot of time to write in the morning, but it's like, okay, with your oatmeal and your tea, you got to get this in. And then by the time that's done, there's, like, you got to get ready for work. There's not a whole lot of buffer zone there. So,
but I bet now that you're good at it though. Like, it was probably rocky at the beginning, and now you're like, you kind of have like an internal clock running.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Usually by the very end, it's like, that's when the best ideas come, right up on the end of it. For sure. So it could be beneficial. It could be really beneficial to try this. Yeah.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's your writing? You've been writing. You've been doing some writing, right? Yeah.
A little bit. I wish I was doing more, but
current vid you wrote out.
Yeah, I'm glad, like, the way that this next video is coming to fruition was like based upon literally everything that we've talked about in the pod. like
Yeah.
just structurally and like pre-production wise, and just straight up like recording with each other. Like I think it's almost like I'm learning through this podcast.
It's finally happening. Oh, okay. Well, do you have more on that? Because I feel like that actually could totally shoot us off on the other topic I wanted to hit today.
Yeah, shoot us.
Okay.
Give us a slingshot.
So you just said it's as if I'm learning on the pod. You and I collaborating, talking through our thoughts in not a vacuum, which I feel I agree with you. I feel like this has been like borderline therapy, like just for creativity, my creativity being able to just like speak with someone who speaks the language. But then you had written that you didn't think 20K would feel so lonely. And I was like, that is interesting. I want to talk about that because like, what is that? What's going on there?
I don't know if you feel the same. Because,
20K subs. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't say subs.
Yeah, that's an important note. I don't know, like, if you'll share this perspective, I guess. Like, I think it's, like, just fully community-based and the way that people interact with the channel and stuff. And, like, of course, like, crazy things have happened. Like, for instance, I would have literally never met you.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, the little things of just, like, my life is completely and utterly changed just from the pure fact of having a YouTube channel, hands down. Like,
yeah.
But like, there's just something about that like all the people I know are like on the internet.
Right.
So like a large
portion
of it is just spent sitting here. And like,
yeah,
sure, in a video, you're like, oh, cool. It's like, whatever. Maybe people are like, it looks like he has a cool desk. That's nice.
Yeah.
It is for 8 hours, but also there's so much more time in a week than that. you know?
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know what I thought it would be like at 20K when I first started, that I just thought there would be like more things going on or like more events or like I'm like more chit-chatting with people or something. And like, obviously that's on yourself and what you do and how you make it. But like, I thought, I guess that or maybe I'm just like catching myself fantasizing about like a bigger community and like interacting with people more. But that's also like directly related to the stuff I post and that I make. Like, it would be probably so different if I had a vlog channel. You know what I mean? Like, not relatable.
Maybe, because you might be like going out, meeting people potentially.
Or even, but people would be like more invested. Like, I wonder what Casey Neistat would be at 20K.
Right.
Like the online audience versus somebody who just makes tutorials and like, at people, like most of the interactions that I do online, it's just like, hey, do you know how to fix this? Or like, hey, this isn't working anymore! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
Yeah. Hey, your plugin sucks. Yeah. No, that's true. It has to be different for him, Natalie Lynn, those types of people. It's Colt, Riza. Yeah. No, and I figured that's what you were going to say. Again, we must be good friends because I kind of thought that might be the case. But I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting point because I think that I totally agree with you in exactly what you said. Like, it is so lonely because all of the people that I keep connecting with like aren't someone I can go grab a beer with or like you and I have talked about it. We're like, we got to figure out how to like see each other, but like it's a plane ticket, know, like it's a journey to get together and film. And it's like, man, if we lived in the same city, like game over, baby, and to your point, I think it's incredible that like we did meet. Like when you kind of think about like the chances of our friendship happening and like just the weird events that like for a real hot minute there, I could not stop just trying to like talk to everyone and their dog, and they were like, Zach was like, oh, you should talk to Spencer, and then like that would, the rest is history. It's just like wild that worked out the way it did, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I get your point. It's super lonely, but also, yeah, like I think this has been incredible for me, like we said, creatively and just like therapy wise almost. But
Definitely. And I still stand by the relationships and stuff that I have made are like
yeah,
things like people in relationships that I'll cherish for sure as well.
Yeah.
Like specifically like like when you brought up Zach, I'm like, yeah, there's like I definitely don't talk to him as much anymore as I used to, but like I love the guy,
yeah,
and that it would be the exact same as like we pick up where we left off for sure.
right. Yeah,
And I think that's the benefits of like the YouTube stuff, especially when you know the other person's like still doing the thing, because you're just like you just know there's a bond.
there's
There's
a bond
already
there.
a bond,
Yep. Yep.
which makes it like so easy to talk to people when you're just like, oh, you've struggled with this too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
you're
that goes for
going through it.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you think? Like severs that? What do you think is like the dividing line of like what I'm talking about for people like a Casey, like a Natalie Lynn, or these like younger, I don't want to say younger creators because they're not always like that, but like a Peter Lindgren type of character who's like
Oh, yeah.
like they're building an audience, but they're like building a community at the same time versus like just building an audience and people who will watch you, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, I think we talk about this one a lot too, but like, I do think that they're letting you, what, no matter what level of artificial, they're letting you into their world so much more than you or I ever do. And kind of part of that is that they're just showing up more frequently. So just by, repetition, there's some amount of more data being transferred about themselves and their personality and their life, just inevitably.
Fair.
But I also think that they're intentionally bringing more of that in than you and I intentionally do, right? Like you said, like we're typically talking about editing stuff. Like I used to do quite a bit of fluff, and I haven't done any of that in a long time. And I don't know, maybe we should be. But also I know that every time I do that nowadays, people are like, video starts at 150.
Yeah, like I think it's just the specific niche that we're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like Peter McKinnon does that. People might do that to him too.
I think people do it to him too. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of in our title and thumbnails though, because we're like, hey, how to better animation for DaVinci Resolve. And then they're like, wait, this takes forever to get there. And that's a fair criticism. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. How do you win that over? Like, how did Natalie?
Well, those are like adventure
Yeah.
videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not tutorials.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this motion tween video will do,
Dude,
Just
I cannot wait.
based
for
off the
this
fact that
motion
it's
twin video.
like it does have screen recording in it, and like, but the hook of it, or like the first part of it, is way more like personable than
Yeah.
a regular video of me just being like, this is a thing. Now let's
Right.
do the thing.
Oh, for sure. There's so much. It's got. I mean, it's like dripping with story, comparatively, I think, to other stuff that we've done. And no, I'm with you. I cannot wait to see how it does. I think again, we got to like hone in on the title and thumbnail, and have it accurately represent like what
Yeah.
we're going for. And then like it's just gonna be. I don't know. I was watching it and I was like, I know everything in this video, but I'm still like, yeah, I'm so much more invested because there's a story here. So I think it's
Nice.
good. I think it's way good. It needs some music, but I think it's way good.
You watched a rough cut.
I know. I was just like, man, music lifts a lot. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
when an edit.
The beauty as an editor though is that you can hear it, and you're like, wait, why did there was no big drop off there? What happened to that?
Yeah. Yeah. Where was the suspense being built? That was just like, it just happened. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you though. I can't wait to see how it does. Which, yeah, I don't know how much we want to dive into that in today. Cause like, I feel like we want that video to come out. I should probably work on mine. And then maybe we like really hit it on the pod. We kind of have.
Yeah, we definitely have talked extensively about it.
But like it's gonna be a real thing. Like you've gotten to shippable, and I agree that it is a sweet ass product. So
yeah, I'm stoked with where it's at right now for sure. But yeah, we can chat about it on another.
It's so clean. It's so clean, dude.
Wait, did you get to try it for?
Oh yeah,
you did. Did you like the shake?
Yes.
We could talk about this later.
Okay. We could talk about it. We could
talk about it. I ask you the question, then I'm just like, wait, we're gonna get the weeds.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Let's hit that afterwards. But we should do an episode for it once it's live because, again, I think lots of people are gonna like it. But,
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now, like in terms of videos?
I've been editing my favorite editing mouse video.
Okay. The Logitech Master. This guy? Not this.
He's my
favorite.
Yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I like what I filmed. Like I did kind of more of like a scoring video so I had that mouse, the Magic Mouse, and then I use this wired Death Adder Razer mouse that's like an absolute piece of shit, but I love it because it's so light and it's wired and it's like all of the clicks on it just feel perfect. Like nothing's too heavy, nothing's too loud. But overall, the MX is gonna win because I don't travel with this mouse.
Fair.
So like it's the overall winner, but like for the shed when I'm like here in the dojo, the Razer mouse wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have a horizontal scroll?
No, dude. I hate the horizontal scroll on that mouse. It's like just a hair too far back. I'm like doing the
I want to try
to try to get it.
I want to try the Ergo one, like the hand standing up.
Oh, yeah. That one might be better. Does it have the wheel still?
Yeah.
The side wheel? Okay.
Yeah.
That might be worth checking out. Yeah, that side wheel is so close to being perfectly comfortable for my thumb, and it's just a little too far back to where I hate using it.
Oh, wait. This might not have a... It doesn't have the side wheel?
It doesn't have the side wheel? What the fuck is it good for?
But for real, though.
Like, seriously, what's the point? Yeah, it doesn't have the side wheel. Oh my gosh, look at this monstrosity. This thing is a beast.
That's stupid.
Dude, do you think that would be comfortable?
Probably. Dude, if you look at your hand as it's sitting, like it's kind of sitting sideways.
I just like crab editing. I don't know why.
How long do you think it'll take us to... You ever see those people with the pens and they're just like... Every single one of those people that I've ever talked to in agencies and stuff, they're always just like, it sucked for about a week to a month to get used to it, but it's the fastest I've ever been and the most comfortable I've ever been. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah. I bought like a shitty one and I don't even know if I can use it in Resolve, but I can use it. Well, no, I bet I could because it controls the mouse.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
But how do you click with that thing?
I think you just...
Click and drag.
Like, just boop. You
touch.
Touch
you
it.
just touch.
Yeah. It's like
holy shit. I might have to play with this. But I wonder if the one I bought is too shitty to like really be a good representation.
Is it like a Wacom tablet or what? They're not that expensive, man.
It was just a Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
And I mean but when I would do drawing stuff, I was like, this is good. So maybe it's worth playing around with. Hey, there's a 2025 video idea. I tried editing with a Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got my
let us
Wacom
know.
on.
Let us know if it sucks or not. Because I imagine the first video it would just be so unintuitive.
Super. How would you right click? Would you right click? What happens when you need to hit a hotkey in your right hand? You'd have to have all left hand hotkeys, or it would just be like, oh, let me set my pen down.
I think that's or you spin it into your. But I think the editors that I've seen are like, there's hotkeys, like you can get boards with hotkeys on it. Like,
okay.
So there's hotkeys on your right hand, and then you're fully editing with your left hand.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part.
That's what I do anyway.
Yeah, for the most part. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. I have honed everything to be left hand anyway. Dude, I made that point in this video of like, because I said that in the beginning, I was like, if you're any kind of modern editor, the mouse you use is super important. Apparently all these old guys just edit with a keyboard. And maybe that'll be a goal of 2025 to figure out how the fuck they do that. Because like every time someone tells me that, I'm just like, that's a lie. You're not doing that, right? Like, what are they doing?
Like
okay, you can assemble and make a cut, but like that's it, right? Like you can't do anything else.
the people who say that edit in Avid.
Yeah, like they're like cutting movies and they're not doing motion graphics and they're not doing special effects and they're not, right? They have to be.
Yeah, I think that's. Like.
How would you move a clip?
In theory, you could do it.
No, right?
In theory, you could do it.
Maybe.
And it would be an interesting video to because like you could select all, add to the timeline, and then you could just shift your clips around with the hotkeys.
Right.
It would be way slower.
I mean, well, okay, like if you got fast, again, for like assembly and like doing a rough cut or even a final cut, like I get that. But like, what if you need, like, again, you and I, we live in this world of like, what if I need to adjust a Bezier curve? You can't do that with the fucking keyboard. You know? Right? Like, fair. I think, which again, that's why I think it's all these old Avid guys that are like, yeah, I'm just, that's how I cut footage. And I'm like, okay, grandpa, like no one just does that anymore. You have to know like everything.
How are they making J cuts and L cuts and shit?
That's a great fucking question. I don't know, because that also blows my mind. How are they doing that? Yeah, it seems crazy. It seems crazy. And it just seems like to be as fast as you would want to be, like you're just sitting there just like, you look like the guys in like CSI, just like banging keys to be like, here's my J-cut sequence.
Man. Yeah. My special ability is that I can use a mouse.
Yeah. I'm real good at using a mouse. I might even switch to crab claw mouse. Who knows? It's possible.
Yeah, I can't do that. I use the horizontal wheel. I will say, since moving to this mouse, I really miss having the top touchpad horizontal. Because for anybody who doesn't know, for these like Logitech mice, is that you can like program all the buttons so they can do different things in each program, which is really cool, but also not that cool when you're like, when you have volume of your system mapped to the horizontal scroll wheel in Finder, but when you're in DaVinci, it's the horizontal scroll of the timeline. And then sometimes you think you're in DaVinci, but you're in Finder, so you turn your volume all the way up. So sometimes...
Just... yeah.
But like with the Apple mouse, that never happened, But I also didn't have the same like functionality of all these cool hotkeys.
Yeah.
Directly at my fingers.
I do make that point in my video because I do like this mouse for there's certain places where this mouse is like one of my favorite things. And one of them is like, Final Cut or any native app. the fact that this is like a touchpad is actually kind of incredible because it's just like infinite smooth scrolling in any direction. And like that's, as an editor, that's like so nice, you know? Like I don't have to mess with the wheel. I can just be like, whoop, 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 you know, whatever. But,
in every single program. I did most of my career with that mouse. Literally didn't get this mouse until like I switched to Resolve because they were like, you need a middle click. I'm like, what the fuck is a middle click?
Yeah, what's a middle click? Yeah, what? What is this? What is this thing that everyone's talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, I've been in
and
Adobe.
You use it and you're like, oh, middle click is life in Resolve. Yeah. Middle click and like, I think they've like fixed the algorithm, but side scrolling with this mouse in DaVinci, do you remember like Resolve 17? Did you ever try to use this thing and scroll sideways? It's the worst. It was. I think it's gotten a little better.
Like, was it just slow?
Just like laggy. Sometimes it would like, because again, like there's so many times where it'd be like, okay, I want to scroll over, I want to zoom in or out on my timeline, and then maybe I want to increase my clip size. Like that, I'm doing that all the time. I can't even remember what the Command Shift and scroll or whatever they are.
Yeah.
But like with this mouse, you'd be like over, and like stuff would just be like a little bit laggy, and you were like just curse words flying, just like what is going on? This just feels like I'm fighting, trying to look around my timeline.
Yeah, that's not the move.
Yeah, it's gotten better. I do think I used it the other day, and I was like, okay, this feels like we're getting like they're improving it. But whereas like Final Cut, it just feels right everywhere I'm scrolling in Final Cut on that thing. I'm just like, this is money. Of course.
Freaking
Apple. But yeah, no, I like the Logitech a lot. But I lost Spencer
Jake
Boy.
on FaceTime.
Oh my God.
Oh, the call failed.
What is happening?
All right. See you later.
I'm proud of us, okay? This is episode 2 for the year, and it's January 7th.